Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I figured I would do this quick little review of my Dodge Challenger SRT8. So I have just about officially owned this vehicle for a hair over 500 miles now. And I could say all 500 miles of it, with the exception of driving this car back 2 hours back to my hometown in the middle of winter. That was a little freaky on bald rear tires. But with the exception of that, the 500 miles of driving this vehicle has been pretty much perfection for me. There's something about engaging with a vehicle, no matter what vehicle you have, with a manual transmission. So this SRT8, of course, has the Tremec 6060 6-speed manual transmission. And I have to say, I have enjoyed driving this vehicle every single second. This is actually the first day I've owned this vehicle for over 6 months now. This is the first day that I've driven it 2 days in a row. I just, A, haven't had time to drive the vehicle, and B, I want to keep the miles down, and C, it just hasn't presented itself. It's been very rainy this year, so I haven't been able to essentially drive the vehicle the way I've wanted to drive it. So, with that being said, there's a Cars and Coffee today at my business, which I am hosting, so I'm gonna display this vehicle along with my other SRT vehicle. Gotta do slow shifts. It's early morning, transmission is just warming up, but it sure is fun. Oh man. So anyway, where I was going with this. So yeah, I've owned it for a little over 500 miles now. It's been well over 6 months now that I've owned this vehicle. So again, Cars and Coffee this morning. May give some people some rides in it. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. But with that being said, I am a novice to the manual transmission. Yes, I've had friends that have had manuals and I've driven those before, but I am truly a novice to the manual. So over the 500 miles, it's taken me a few stalls, a few errors in order to drive this vehicle, and I'm still a novice at it. So with that being said, I have enjoyed this vehicle so much that I almost want to buy another one. Of course, I can't do that, and I won't do that, but there's something about a huge V8 up in front of me with a long hood and rear-wheel drive with more of a weight bias to the front than the rear that it just really gets me excited. And yes, there are better handling manual coupes out there than this. Mustang, Camaro, but for me, I love Mopar. I loved what they did. I don't know if I love what they do now. And I love that classic retro look of the Challenger, and hence why I bought this. It's something that excites me more than any other car on the road. Truthfully, I would eventually love to own one of these, maybe in a Hellcat variant with the 6-speed manual someday, as I've driven many Hellcats before, or Hellcat variants of Rams, Jeeps, whatever. And they are just so much fun to drive. They are super fast. They are engaging. We have some birds on the road. Yeah, even in 4th gear, it's starting at 30, this thing just has torque pulling you. It's unbelievable. Oh, it's so fun. But anyway, yeah, so going back, yeah, I may want to buy one of those in the future when I get older and actually have some disposable income to spend on that. But, oh my gosh, this vehicle is so fun that I just can't get over the dynamics of the vehicle and that engine noise. That's what really does it for me. The soul, the engine, the transmission, everything like that. You know, this vehicle was made for someone, and that someone just happens to be me. All right. Oh, and there we go. That's why I'm a novice at it. I've been trying to do pulls in second gear, just trying to get used to that, and it just hasn't been working out great. One thing I have to say I don't like is that this almost forces you to do a first to fourth shift under light load, and I don't know if I like that necessarily too much, and that time it did. Excuse me. It's morning, I'm tired. Driving to work on non-eventful roads. But yeah, so I don't like that about it, but other than that, the car is really good. I did have to replace the rear tires on it. That was needed when I was actually buying the vehicle. I knew I needed to buy tires when I bought the vehicle, so I put on some just a pretty cheap pair of Toyo Proxys on here. And I have to say, the Proxys are still better than the Goodyear RSA tires that they put on these vehicles, or at Goodyear F1 Supercar tires. Those tires are terrible. They're so hard. They take forever to warm up. They're not very forgiving. I have them on my 300 SRT8 too, and I replaced them on the rear. They suck. Oh God, they're terrible tires. I'm not a fan of them. But these Toyo Proxys are pretty good. And I have to say, I like those a lot better than the F1 Supercar tires or the RSA tires, whatever. I'm not a fan of both of those sets of tires. So anyway, I haven't had any problems over the 300 or 500 miles that I've owned the car, and over the 6 months that I've owned the car. Again, I only drive this. This is more of a weekend driver. You know, I maybe drive it 1 or 2 days a week, if that. And I don't have a super long commute. It's maybe 35, 40 minutes total. And one thing that you're going to notice right away, whether you have this in the SRT trim, the Hellcat trim, the RT trim, Scat Pack trim, GT trim, SXT trim, you're always going to get looks. People look at this vehicle so much, even more so than my 300 SRT8, because a lot of people don't know what that is. So people are looking at this vehicle more than basically any other vehicle I've ever owned. And I've had a lot of cool vehicles just because it's a Challenger. You know, people look at Challenger, Mustang, Corvette, Camaro, it doesn't matter. They all just stare at them. And I get a lot of compliments on this car, especially from car people, and they really respect it. And I can honestly understand that. I respect the Mustang, I respect the Camaro as well. But all right, just do a light pull. Oh, that is so much fun. Oh man, that is, it's almost comical. I love the exhaust on here. The snap, crackle, and pop you get is great. Here we go again. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Jack Reacher, the original Reacher movie with Tom Cruise. But in that car chase, in my opinion, one of the best car chases of all time, he has that old Chevelle in the manual, and granted this isn't a Camaro or a Chevelle, but sometimes I kind of like to think I'm in that movie, as dumb as it sounds, and I'm pretending I'm in that car chase, rowing through the gears like no other. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Oh man. So anyway, we'll take out this vehicle here, or we'll take a look at the exterior of the vehicle here, and give you my final thoughts over 500 miles of ownership. So taking a look at the vehicle here, everything over 500 miles has held up very well, with the exception of some bug spots up front. I may actually give this baby a wash. But with everything said, everything's held up fairly well. I'm pretty impressed with the vehicle here. Again, new rear tires, tons of tread left for an occasional burnout. But the paint on this vehicle is just tremendous. Again, it's maybe a little dirty right now. I did have it sit out overnight. But the paint is truly tremendous. Whoever had this before me, the original owner, definitely took great care of the paint here. And again, over 500 miles, I'm impressed. There's nothing but good words to say with this Challenger. The engine bay, of course, I cleaned that up. It looks phenomenal. And yeah, even the front looks good over. This thing has, it's an 09 with 37,000 miles on it total, but I've owned it for 500. And I gotta say, there's really no rock chips or nicks or anything like that, just the bug spots from driving to and from work. And yeah, I'm very, very impressed with this vehicle. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for my little 500-mile review here of my Challenger SRT8. This is my garage. I'm just missing the Volt here, and I have some pretty cool cars I get to drive. I'm very, very thankful for that. So we'll catch you in the next one.